All right, so good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our faculty development workshops that we started this semester. So today's session is going to be led by Dr. Naza Ghali. It's 29, 2 p.m. So let's get started. Our next workshop is going to be 2 weeks from now. So that's on November 12th, Thursday, again at the same time at 12 p.m. At 2 p.m. Sorry. Yeah, at 2 p.m. And in that workshop, I'll be presenting my research on supply chain collaboration along with Dr. Anyu. He'll be talking more about sustainability. So more details as we get closer to the date. If anyone is interested to lead any workshop for next semester, for spring or even for fall of next year, please get in touch with me. I know Dr. Ivanov, he's already interested in doing a workshop in January. So for the month of January, we've got a speaker. More details on that in the coming weeks. But if anyone is interested to do any workshop on research or teaching or anything, it's an open forum for all of us. So just get in touch with me, right? Okay, so without any further ado, I'm going to just share my slides. That's Dr. Naza Ghali's slides, but she's having some problem with her WebEx, so she will lead the discussion and I will just be the slide master. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Aurora.
Yeah, no problem. Just give me a few seconds and I will be able to share. I think it should be. Yeah, can you see slides, everyone?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can see them.
All right. Yeah. Thank you. So over to you, Naza.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing the slides, Dr. Aurora. Hello, everyone. How are you? Good afternoon. I hope that you're keeping sane in this COVID-19 era, and some time for discussing research. This research was done about 2 years ago, and then it was recently published over this summer. So I'm going to be discussing this research with you on social entrepreneurship. And I'm excited to be discussing research today. I hope that everyone is excited as well. So today we're going to be talking about the mediation of social performance on social entrepreneurial orientation and financial performance. Next slide, please. Okay, thanks. So basically what this research was discussing is social entrepreneurial orientation. And basically orientation is the behavior of the firm. So we're looking at the actions of firms, like how much they take risks, how much proactive they are, how much innovative they are. And we're looking at social entrepreneurial orientation, which is an activity of the firm, and it's basically for the attainment of social values. So this is different from for-profit oriented actions. And entrepreneurial activities that are for-profit are different than social, entrepreneurial actions, which are mainly for achieving the social impact within firms. Now, basically, just to discuss briefly what SEO or social entrepreneurial orientation is, it involves hybrid organizing. It's basically an activity which is trying to make sense of different things. So they're merging the social mission, but to achieve the social mission with an entrepreneurial action. So it's hybrid by its nature. So this action is hybrid by its nature, and mostly it has been done. So research around this has been done in nonprofit contexts. However, we look at this construct from a different angle, and we try to look at hybrid firms that are trying to achieve social orientation and how that impacts their social performance and their financial performance. So this was the main purpose behind this research. We're looking at this hybrid form of activity that is trying to mix up multiple logics, the social logic with the financial logic. Next slide, please. Yeah, so just have to have some pictures. Of course, every presentation has to have some pictures. Um, this picture shows, the importance of community. So with social entrepreneurship, and in my research mainly I focus on entrepreneurial orientation or for-profit activities, but this research was focusing on social entrepreneurship. And in social entrepreneurship, really there's the focus on the community, on achieving the social impact. So it's not just driven for financial gain. So when firms engage in social entrepreneurial activities, they're doing those activities that are similar to the entrepreneurial activities that are done for profit, but the purpose here is different. The purpose here is to, for further benefiting the community, for achieving the social impact. And so basically this, image shows the importance of community for social entrepreneurship. Next slide, please. Okay, so was the main aim from this study? Was to examine the mediation effect of social entrepreneurial orientation or social entrepreneurial activities on the with financial performance. So we're looking at the mediation of social performance on the social entrepreneurial orientation and financial performance relationship, and we do that using a large scale study, about 1,156 Austrian firms. Most of the research on social entrepreneurship has been done through qualitative interviews, and there's a lot of challenges with social entrepreneurship that I'll be discussing now briefly, where basically the measurement of it is problematic as well, because they use the same measurement for-profit activities for social entrepreneurship. But we know that social entrepreneurship it entails different purpose, so the dimensions of it are different. As I noted in the first slide, there's social proactiveness. It's not just proactiveness that is for profit. So social proactiveness, social innovativeness, social risk taking. So even though it involves taking risks, but it's for a social purpose. So even the measurement of it is problematic, because it's measured, there's not a distinct measurement of it. There's not a distinct definition of it. So the rationale for this study was to basically further make the conceptualization of social entrepreneurship different from for-profit entrepreneurship, and to show how it relates with financial performance different from for-profit entrepreneurial activities. So we wanted to make that separate conceptualization and measurement from commercial or for-profit entrepreneurship using this study. Next slide, please. Okay, so the gaps that I was just talking about, this research on social entrepreneurship, even though there has been a couple of research done on social entrepreneurship, and social entrepreneurship is not a new phenomena, but social entrepreneurship, there's not a clear conceptualization of it from for-profit entrepreneurship or commercial entrepreneurship, because the same measurement for commercial entrepreneurship is done for social entrepreneurship. They use the same scale of EO, which is entrepreneurial orientation, that was done by Covenant-Slevin in 1989, and they use that scale for nonprofit firms. So a lot of the time, social entrepreneurship is considered as nonprofit entrepreneurial orientation, but we know that it's hybrid in its nature. It's not just nonprofit. So even the measurement of it is not distinct. The definition of it, there's a lot of problems with this definition. Some people say that it's not distinct from commercial entrepreneurship. Others consider it as nonprofit as well, or similar to corporate social responsibility. So there should be some clear conceptualization and a clear distinction of what social entrepreneurship is from other constructs that might be related to it, such as corporate social responsibility or commercial entrepreneurship or nonprofit, activities. So we try to build that distinction, and we address those gaps in this research by looking at how it interrelates with performance and different forms of performance, one that is social and one that is financial. Next slide, please. Thank you. Okay, so what is the main theory, and what is the theoretical framework that we're using here for this study? So we know that social entrepreneurial orientation or social entrepreneurial activities, they involve, it's hybrid in its nature. It basically combines the social impact with entrepreneurial action. So what we were trying to propose here is that social entrepreneurial orientation actually reconciles those hybrid tensions. A lot of the hybrid organizing literature looks at the tensions of, social with financial, that those different logics cannot be combined. But, hybrid firms, they try to combine the social with the financial, and sometimes one at the expense of the other. So a lot of the literature of hybrid organizing looks at the tensions and, inability to mix those different institutional logics of social with financial. And we propose that actually through doing the social entrepreneurial orientation activities, the activities that mix those, hybrid logics of achieving social impact, but with entrepreneurial action, is able to reconcile those hybrid tensions within hybrid firms, and hence to have a positive impact on social performance and then on financial performance. And we see that social and economic logic doesn't become competing because of social entrepreneurial orientation. So when firms basically engage in social entrepreneurial activities, they're able to combine the social with the financial logic, so they become complementary instead of competing. And most of the literature of hybrid organizing looks at them as competing logics. So we try to provide empirical support for this through looking at the mediation effect of social performance. And we look at, instrumental stakeholder theory as well as the hybrid organizing perspective. So basically, just to briefly go through the different hypotheses, even though I didn't lay them here. The first hypothesis was that social entrepreneurial orientation has a positive impact on social performance. Oh, what happened?
You need any?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah, you can hear me. There's something that happened with my computer. Like I said, WebEx doesn't work with my computer, so it's just froze. My screen has froze, but you can still hear me?
Yes, we can see you. We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, I'm back. I'm back.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah. So I'm just gonna continue on. So it didn't stop, right? You've been hearing everything so far? Okay, good, good. Because mine just froze. Okay, so I'll just continue on then. So we use a middle ground approach of using theories that have been used before, which is the instrumental stakeholder theory and hybrid organizing perspective, to look at the different relationships of social entrepreneurial orientation with social performance with financial performance, and then how social performance mediates the social orientation with financial performance relationship. So the first hypothesis was that social entrepreneurial orientation has a positive relationship with social performance. So even though they're not on the slide here, the slide was more of a summary, so I'm just going to go over it quickly. So the first hypothesis was social entrepreneurial orientation has a positive impact on social performance because, as I noted before, social entrepreneurial orientation is about social value creation. So it's different from for-profit entrepreneurial orientation, where the focus here is on achieving the social impact. So it would have a positive impact on social performance within a hybrid firm. So here we're focusing on the context of hybrid firms. Then we say that social and financial performance is positive. And a lot of research has been done on social with financial performance. Some have noted that it's a positive relationship. Others say that there's no relationship or a negative relationship. Here we're using the context of hybrid firms, and we're focusing on the context because it is, important. And reviewers came at us with this social and financial because a lot of the research has been done on social financial, and they noted that it's important to make it more context specific. So we're talking here about hybrid firms and how social and financial performance interrelate within a hybrid firm context. So a nonprofit firm, for instance, might want to maximize its profit or its social output from the social projects that it engages in. However, not necessarily it would realize profit from its social investment. This is, in comparison to a strategically oriented hybrid firm. So the hybrid firm strategically engages in social projects for possible investment from those social projects. So this is different from a non-profit oriented firm. So within the context of hybrid firms, we're saying that strategically oriented hybrid firms are able to achieve profits from the social investments that they engage in. Hence, social performance would have a positive impact on financial performance. However, if this was a non-profit firm, then not necessarily that social performance would have a positive impact on financial performance. So we're using instrumental stakeholder theory as the theoretical framework within the context of a hybrid firm to theorize how social and financial performance interrelate. And then we come up with the social performance mediation hypothesis, where basically we propose that social performance mediates the social and orientation to financial performance relationship. And we go back to the hybrid organizing literature, which has looked at the tensions of social and economic logic and the long-term impact of those tensions, and they highlight how firms that are hybrid, they might go with a mission drift where basically they don't achieve their social mission. The financial logic takes over. So they really focus on those tensions. But we're saying that actually by engaging in entrepreneurial activity for the aim of for achieving the social mission, SEO social logic, which is infused with business activities, is able to reconcile those hybrid tensions of social and financial. And by achieving the social value creation, they're able to also lead to financial gain for the firm, for the hybrid firm. Hence, social performance mediates that relationship between social and orientation and financial performance. Next slide, please. Okay, so I think I went through that where I'm talking about the context. Yeah, so hybrid organizing. So of course we need more pictures. So just to lighten the mood. So what is hybrid organizing? What do we mean by hybrid organizing? If we want to put it in an image, I saw this image and I thought it was really funny. The Simpsons with, I think that's Family Guy. So you can see how hybrid organizing, mixing two logics together with that one character that is the Simpsons and Family Guy at the same time, and the other one as well. So just to try to visualize what hybrid organizing is, it's the mixing of two logics. Of course, when we look at this image, we're like, well, that might not make sense to us because we're used to seeing Family Guy and we're used to seeing the Simpsons as the Simpsons. But with hybrid organizing, it's mixing of different logics. Next slide, please. Yes, and more images. And this, yes, shows, like I said, the hybrid organizing, just to show you how those different logics interrelate, like with cartoon figures, which is like Mickey Mouse with, I don't know the name of this cartoon, but yeah, so you get what I'm saying. So it's basically mixing of different logics within one form. Yeah. So next slide, please. Okay, so this is a theoretical model where basically social entrepreneurship, or the orientation or the activity of social entrepreneurship, interrelates positively with social performance interrelates positively with financial performance, and social performance mediates that relationship. So this is our main conceptual model. Next slide, please. So the sample is that we drew on a random sample of 20,000, entries from the Austrian company database. And this was from one of the co-authors that I'm working with. They got access to the data. Basically, the companies were invited to participate anonymously in this study via an online survey system. And then, of course, consistency checks were made. And 107 of the responses that were not complete, they were removed. So we had usable total of 1,156 responses. Next slide, please. Yeah. So what is the sample? The respondents, of course, mostly were male. Go figure. Mostly were male, 78.5% male, with a mean age of 49.3 years. They had frequently also had founded at least one firm. Most of the respondents also were CEOs. or executives. They had a mixed educational background. Some had university degrees, some had, school leaving examinations, technical colleges, those that attended technical college, teacher trainings, secondary schools, or those with PhDs at the lower end of percentile. The average firm age was 30.7 years. So, and mostly were small firms. Okay, and this is one of the limitations also, that mostly were small firms. Of course, further on to do the study, it would be good to do it in different contexts of firms, such as large firms. And so mostly were small firms. Some were medium-sized firms as well. And of course, large firms were less frequent. Only about 8% of the study were large firms. Yep. Next slide, please. So the measurement, oh, this is so small. But I mean, just if you can think about it. So we had constructed a measurement. One of my co-authors, Sasha Cross, constructed a different measurement for social entrepreneurial orientation. And we used that measurement to basically measure social entrepreneurial orientation, because as I've said before, for social entrepreneurship, the same measurement that is for entrepreneurial orientation, even though we know that social entrepreneurship is different, the same measurement that is used for for-profit is used for the social entrepreneurship. So we used a different measurement that was done in 2017. They came up with, they altered the dimensions from risk-taking to social risk-taking, innovativeness to social innovativeness, proactiveness to social proactiveness. And they tested the scale. They used the Delphi method to come up with the scale, which is basically, the Delphi method is to ask experts in the field, ask experts in social entrepreneurship or academics or people that are experts in social entrepreneurship, what are the dimensions for SEO. So that study was done in 2017. We used the scale for this study. And of course, we also have the scale for social performance and financial performance there. Next slide, please. Yeah, so the results, exciting. We need to get to the results. So basically, what do the results show? As we hypothesized, the results show that basically social orientation and financial performance was partially positively mediated by social performance, where social performance positively mediated the relationship, as you can see on the slide. But social entrepreneurship orientation did not lead directly to higher financial performance. Only through its effect on social performance did its effect spill over into higher financial performance. So as you can see, the direct relationship is negative. So what does that mean? The results actually show that they're not complementary as we hypothesized them to be within the context of SEO and in hybrid firms. We observe that social and financial performance are not complementary when firms engage in SEO, but actually the indirect effect of social performance when engaging in social and orientation is positive on financial performance. So actually it's compensatory, it's not complementary. So this basically reshapes the problem of tension, which is not between social and financial, because some of the research has focused on the tensions between social and financial. The tension here is between SEO and financial performance. So when firms engage in social entrepreneurship with a social, mission, they might not immediately gain financial profit out of it. But through achieving the social mission, through achieving social value creation, they're able to gain financial profit out of it. So reveal that SEO had a positive effect on social performance, aligned with our social value proposition of SEO, and also reveal that social performance has a positive effect on financial performance through instrumental stakeholder theory. And we also show that social performance is the mediation between SEO and financial performance. And we show and we contribute to the hybrid organizing literature that SEO is able to basically reconcile those hybrid tensions through achieving the social mission. They're able to achieve financial gain as well. Next slide, please. So what are the managerial implications of this? Well, the managerial implications for this is that we want to show to managers when you are, achieving your social mission through social entrepreneurial activity, you're also able to benefit economically. So in other words, success drives success. So if a manager is passionate about the social impact, if they're passionate about achieving the social performance, then this will also mean higher financial success for the firm. But as social SEO or social entrepreneurial action or activity does not have a direct positive impact on financial performance. Actually, it has a negative one. So, but this is compensated for by the positive effect of social performance on financial performance. So managers should not squander investment in SEO just to gain financial gain out of it. But through achieving the social mission, they're able to achieve financial profits out of engaging in social and entrepreneurial activity. Next slide, please. So limitations, finally, of course, in every study, there are limitations. This study, of course, focused on small companies. As I noted before, we need to enhance the generalizability of our findings to look at, so future research can test this model in samples with different contexts. And maybe rather than Austrian firms, maybe US firms, or maybe in different contexts as well, and with different sizes of firms, maybe larger firms rather than small firms. And also we looked at perceptual indicators of performance. And this is a problem with any research that use surveys as the indicator. So maybe possibly we can look at objective measurements rather than looking at, the perceptual indicators, because there's always that problem with using surveys. But we did test for common method bias, and we didn't find any problems with that. I probably did not say that before. And of course, we need to look at also, the sample was mostly men, so we can look at also, with women, how would that be different? So that's the end. Thank you very much for listening, and hope you enjoyed the discussion on this research.
Thank you, Dr. Ghali. That was a great presentation, and I think the floor is open for questions for Dr. Ghali.
So Dr. Ghali, can I say something? Can you hear me?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, hi. I think it was a great presentation. I really enjoyed listening to it, because I think there were so many commonalities between entrepreneurship and marketing. So, we talk about social marketing and we talk about responsible marketing. So I could see those residents in there. So I think that was great. And thank you for sharing your presentation, really. It was very nice. And I'm just curious about your negative finding. I mean, this is something which I always look at. So you all have, like when you made your hypotheses, it was all positive. But then your relationship between SEO and financial performance comes out to be negative. So do you see the reasons for that? Was that driven by theory, or what was the reasoning?
So we didn't look at the direct effect. We didn't hypothesize the direct effect of SEO on financial performance. We looked at, SEO to social performance to financial performance. And basically, I think that SEO, the reason for its negative effect on financial performance, and even though we didn't note it in this paper, but we hypothesized it, but it wasn't included in the paper, is that this is different from EO. The thing is, there was a lot of research done on for-profit entrepreneurial orientation, but not much research done on SEO. And for-profit oriented activities, because of their logic of putting the financial gain on top of anything else, a lot of research has shown that for-profit entrepreneurial activity has a positive impact on financial performance. It is, there's astounding evidence to show that. Where with SEO, there's not much research that has been done. It's still a construct that is evolving, and a lot of, researchers, as I said, they use the same measurements for EO to SEO, etc. But the reason is that it's because of its social logic. It's different from EO. Now, EO, which is for-profit oriented, would, because of its financial logic, would lead to financial results. Whereas with SEO, because it prioritizes the social mission, and because it's all about social value creation on top of, the financial value capture, it could lead to negative impact on the financial performance. And we do know that engaging in social investments, they take a long term to see their impact financially. So maybe through achieving the social mission first, are they able to realize the financial gain out of it? But in immediately, it leads to negative financial results because of its different, logic than for-profit oriented activities. This is more towards achieving social mission and prioritizing the social mission, other than the EO, the EO construct.
And I think I'll be curious to know about the women entrepreneurs. I'm sure right now your sample has 28% men. So maybe if you have those women entrepreneurs, then maybe that relationship is positive, and maybe social performance, I don't know whether it will mediate or not. So that'll be some interesting results out there. And one suggestion that I have is, if you can complicate your model a little bit and maybe add some moderators in there, because, and again, I know you talked about the cross-cultural or the cross-country studies. So how about adding the culture as a moderator? And I'm just thinking, because this might change the entire relationship. I know it will make a simple model a little complex, but I think it'll be worth it if you look at maybe something like an emerged country or the developed country versus an emerging economy, and then seeing the differences. That might be of value.
Definitely. Definitely, that's a very good suggestion. Thanks. I think that it would be good to look at different moderators, examining this relationship in different contexts, because we can find different results, and especially with the sample. I mean, there's a major gender bias throughout research, so I believe that there could be some value in this, in doing this in a sample of majority of women. We might find totally different results.
Exactly. And I think that could be one study, and the other study could be just the cross-cultural and cross-country. I mean, you've done a great job. So thank you. Thank you for sharing your research. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and congratulations on your publication too during summer. So that's great.
Yeah, it took a while, but thankfully it worked. I am working on other things right now, but it's good when you see something finally coming to fruition. So it's so it was a breeze.
Yeah. So I'm curious to know, did the reviewers have any comments about the response rate? I think it was about very low, like 5% or something.
They did. Yeah, but there was non-response bias. We tested for that, and there was non-response bias. So, but reviewers, of course, they try to dissect everything, and they didn't know that. Yeah.
Okay, great. And any examples of, so this is a very interesting concept, this the hybrid firm. So any example of large firms which are hybrid firms?
So I mean, examples as in what, in the Austrian sample?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. They were mostly small, medium enterprises, and we, contacted those managers. So I'm not sure about a specific example. There must be a lot of examples of, hybrid firms we can see that are also trying to combine different logics. A lot of firms nowadays, they're trying to combine different logics, the social with the economic logic. So we see that happening with firms, but I don't have like specific examples within the Austrian sample. I have to go back and see the data. Yeah.
Okay. So I think like most of the firms would be considered like hybrid firms, because all of the firms, they are focusing on the social aspects, and of course the economic aspects are always there, and then looking at the environmental aspects also. So like most of the large firms, would they be considered as hybrid firms? I'm curious.
So there was a research that was recently published by Shepard et al. 2019, and they talk about relative hybridity. So some firms might be more hybrid in their logic in comparison to other firms. Non-profit firms, they're high in social logic but low in financial logic, so they're not high in hybridity. They're very low in hybridity, whereas for-profit oriented firms, they're high in the financial and low in the social, so they are low in hybridity. Whenever a firm tries to engage in activities that different logics such as social entrepreneurship, then they can increase their hybridity level. They can go from a relatively low hybridity to a higher hybridity level. But like you saying as well, a lot of firms nowadays, they're trying to combine different logics. Some might do it more so than others.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that gives me some ideas for some more research. Maybe we can take a sample of large firms, maybe Fortune 500 firms or something, and look at their social indicators, economic indicators, and environmental indicators, and combine that with this hybrid firm concept and come up with something. So
yeah, that'd be a good suggestion.
Right. Any other questions from anyone? No more questions? Okay.
But well done.
Someone was saying something, I didn't catch that.
I was saying that I think it was well done. I think it was well presented.
Dr. Yali, can you hear?
Yeah, I'm hearing. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, it was breaking up.
Oh, I was saying that I think it was well presented.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right. So, okay. So I guess no more questions. So thank you so much, Dr. Gali, for enlightening presentation today. And once again, congratulations on your publication over the summer. Again, a request to all of you, if you have any suggestions for future workshops in the next semester, please feel free to reach out to me or Dr. Anshu Arora, and we'll be happy to schedule your workshop in the coming semesters. And once again, a reminder, the next workshop will be held 2 weeks from now. And I will send you all more details and a calendar invite as we get closer to the date. Right. Thank you very much, and have a great day, all of you. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Thank you, Naza. It was wonderful. Thank you. Really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye.